What up, y'all? Today we're going to be reviewing the iPod Touch 7th generation. And right here is the device. And I use it every day as my second phone. I've loved it and I probably always will. This device, man. This device has been here since 2018 or 2019, either of those 2 years. I think it's stupid that Apple didn't give it 16. We're all spoiled with iPhones, so why can't this thing get iOS 16 when one of the iPads did, and it had the iPhone 6s, or I think chip, and it got iPad OS 16. So I mean, what the hell? This deserves to get iOS 16 because it's actually the last true device from Apple released, and that's why I use it all the time. I like the feel of it. I like the performance. It's actually not that slow. Obviously, it's not like my iPhone SE's 3rd generation, but it's still pretty decently fast. So let's go into review. This iPod day-to-day use. Personally, I love this device. The performance is fast. I load the camera app. It's not that slow. I load this. It's not that slow. FaceTime 2, I already just loaded. Nothing's really that slow on this device. Now, one of the problems I do have with this device is that, we go to battery, and no, I'm not going to mention battery life because that's really, stereotypical thing to say about an iPod Touch, but there is no maximum capacity on here, and I wish it did. I wish it could say something like that. Now, one of the things I like to mention about this iPod Touch, the last true Apple device, the 7th generation, is it does have a significantly better battery life than the iPod Touch 6th generation. The 6th generation battery was ass. I swear to God, that iPod had terrible battery life. The 5th gen was also pretty decent. I have it on iOS 6, and I'm leaving it on iOS 6 because that's Apple's last true software. Now, another thing I'd like to mention about this iPod is that it's, it feels really different from using an iPhone. It does not feel the same. It does not, for example, I'm going to load my cycling app. Yesterday I did, 50 miles on my bike ride. I can still record, but I don't need, all this GPS stuff. I don't need all that fancy, I have 208 miles this week. That's usually typically what I have when I cycle, cycling. I'm a professional cyclist, so, now, this won't come in perfect handy when on the road. This right here is something that I just have in the backup just in case my phone dies, or maybe I'm out in the countryside and I lose signal, so I just grab and I just load the original music that I have purchased from here. Like right now, I don't know what I have, but just whatever. Do I think you should buy this device? This device was released all the way back in 2019, and it's not the most advanced, it's not the fastest. It is pretty actually decent in performance though. For a chip that's however half a decade old. I think that this device still performs decently well, and I'm actually surprised it even lasted this long. And personally, I feel like Apple should have released at least one more iPod Touch to the line with the newest chipset and all that, to make a good closure and not just call it off at the end with not some of the best success in the world. But the iPod sold okay the first few months. After that, it didn't really sell that good. And then at the end, when Apple said, "Hey, screw it, fuck it, we're done with iPod Touch," everyone decided to buy it. That makes me really sad because now people are spoiled with iPhones. People are spoiled with these damn Apple Watches and all that shit. And I personally feel like the iPod, used to be a really good device, before the world ended over 10 years ago. And we don't talk about that. So yes, this device, if you do want one, you can no longer get it from Apple. They're completely out of stock. You may be able to find it at some Best Buys. That's only some at best, and only some Walmarts sell them, or Targets. I got mine at Target, but directly from Apple. I shipped it there because I don't want them knowing where I live. So I got this on May one of the last few times this iPod was ever seen sold at Apple. And I also have this one in red, but I personally like the blue one. So yeah, guys, I mean, should you purchase this device? If you don't have an iPhone and you don't have the damn money, if there is simply a used iPod Touch 7th Gen, pick it up. Pick it up. I don't care. It's rare. It's not even easy to find anymore. Oh, and also you got a headphone jack, which is just the giveaway right there that you can use your favorite headphones on this thing without having to worry about that damn dongle thing, which I honestly really don't like. But I have AirPods, so I don't think it'll matter for me. But, you want a nostalgic device, you want all of that, pick this thing up and, use it, because, it's only going to be supportive, like, for apps like Peacock or, Tubi, Call of Duty. I think you can play on there for a really long time, because it's an iOS 8 or iOS 9 or above. All these apps still work. You can use everything new on this device. I think they require iOS 10 and over. So yeah, you're gonna have a pretty long time actually using this thing, because it's actually decently usable. It's not like it's not like the iPhone 3GS or like the iPhone 3rd gen, the iPhone 3G, where no apps are fucking usable whatsoever. All you can use 99.9% of apps that the iPhone and iPad can hold up, because this is kind of like that. It's just without the cellular situation in the inside the device, this processor and all that shit. Now, how does it feel like to hold an iPod Touch? Honestly, it actually feels premium. I had an Android phone on me versus the iPod Touch, and the iPod Touch automatically beat the Android phone. It doesn't matter if it's a phone, it's Android, and Android really sucks, and Android is for cheap people. I don't care if you're sensitive, Android sucks, okay? Apple is better. Even this is better than an Android. Like, people say, my grandpa has a Android, and it says 13 megapixels. But when I load the camera on my iPod Touch and compare the camera to his phone, mine definitely beats it. And mine's what, a 12 megapixel? I think this thing has a 12 megapixel or a 10 megapixel. I'm not exactly sure. Overall experience isn't that hard. As long as you have Wi-Fi or hotspot, you should be good. Yes, you can actually use it without internet. It's an iPod. You don't need to get Spotify shit, because I have purchased music from my iTunes that I've used on my iPod Touch 5th Gen, on iOS 6, and I've used also on all my other devices, all my other old devices. But yeah, last iPod Touch you're ever going to see. And that's very sad. That's very sad. We're not even in the world we were once in 10 years ago. But like I said, we don't talk about that too much. But yeah, thank you for watching. Purchase one if you can find one. You'll enjoy it while you can. But yeah, peace out.